Welcome to the hottest show on the internet. This is Becky Boop. Oh, Thick Gemini, thank you for gifting a membership. Mary came in hot, gifting 30. And Twisted SMF, thank you for being a pay pig for 4 months. Y'all are insane. Well, as the song goes, Becky Oh, let me wait for this one to... Oh, wait, there's always a delay. No, here it is.
Terry's emoji, super chatted $19.99. Ding dong, the bitch is gone.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, old witch, the wicked witch. Oh, believe me, I have celebrations prepared. Oh, wait, who's here? Hang on. I'm trying to do too many things at once. Tina, are you in Discord with me?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, hang on. I was not even in Discord yet. I was looking up something from earlier. Give me a second. Why do all the shows have to come? Why does it always have to start difficultly? Okay, hang on. Well, now that Tina's here, I might as well.
Woo!
Here. God, what a mess. Here. Jesus Christ. I was about to say, I got caught up singing, but I was about to say, as the song goes, Becky lied, Becky cried, but guess who still got a job? Becky do. Becky does. Guess who still got a job? Tina does. Tina does. Guess who gone? Guess who gone?
Cabbage.
That's right. That's right. So today is a day of celebration. The witch is gone.
Oh, she said, what'd you say? Celebration.
Celebration. I don't know what language that is, but I'm sure it's one. Oh my God, and non. Gifting 20 memberships. Holy shit, right out the gate, you guys. Oh my God, Mary.
Super chatted $100. Party time.
$100.
I warned everybody the savage was going to do this. Thank you for being a friend.
Wait, let me... Something coming back again. I don't know. How does it go? I feel like we should sing it. I would...
Thank you for being a friend.
You know what?
Traveling down the road and back again. Through the heartache and pain, you're a pal and a confidant.
What's that?
You change a lot. You're getting better at your show every day with every stream. Don't you think it time for a brand new Queen song for S3 and have a nice day to the both of you?
Maybe. I wouldn't mind a new song, but I leave that stuff up to Keem because anytime I create one, it sucks. He thinks it sucks. In fact, here's the secret. Because I managed a few different shows, and anytime we needed a new song and Keem hadn't done it yet, I would just create the song first. Keem would see it in the group chat, and he would be like, oh, that song sucks. And then he'd get a new one created within 30 minutes. That's how you get Keem to create songs for you. Okay, listen. Tina, I know you've got a lot to say on this topic. We got a lot of donations. We got tons of gifted already. So many. I think we're up past 50 total already. I prepared a song for us in celebration. Would you like to hear it now or later?
I can hear it right now. I'm ready to
That's
party right
what
now.
I
I'm
think.
going to online.
Yeah.
So after, Milker's little stream, Queen came react, and they were more or less celebrating. And, I mean, what do you expect, right? They more or less won the war against Milker, right? They have, Savage isn't there anymore, so that's one less hurdle for Becky to deal with. Let's really think about this, because I think in a way, if this was just, let's say, Becky, if this was just Tina versus Savage, I think Savage would have won a long time ago. But we are seeing the new age of the Becky, right? Right, because the next clip kind of makes me kind of question a lot of things that goes on the LCU. But yeah, Queens has more or less won this war between them, and in a way, I'm kind of glad that this conflict is over for the most part, because it was the same thing over and over and over again with these people, right? There wasn't really anything new we haven't seen before. There wasn't anything interesting that was happening, and I think because of that, I felt that things were just stagnating. Now, what's to come after this, I don't know, right? This could just be, because let's really talk about this. This can easily go either way. One, Queen still does what it does, right? Still gets money, still gets a view. Or the opposite can happen where Queen takes a hit for a while because there's no new content on there and there's no new drama. And I'm a little bit in the middle. Because in one way, Queens has a dedicated fandom. On the other hand, it can easily just go down because they have no real force to fight against. Because early on, Queens was, if you guys don't remember, early Queens was just nothing but just Becky and Tina fighting constantly. It was like them fighting every single day. And then, after Fat Camp, it was them fighting every single day. And then out of the blue, right, there was like a complete 180, right? 180 of their personalities with each other. Now, with Savage is gone, what's to come next? I don't even know.
Imagine Keem, this is to you, but also to anybody else watching this who's been around the past few months. Do we all remember my very first complaint about going to fat camp when I really started pushing back on Keem for it? I mostly pushed back when I said I didn't feel safe going there with Savage. I didn't like her behind a computer screen either. But with that there, I was okay. But I did not want to deal with her IRL. I said this to Keem at the time. Keem positioned me as the problem. Everyone starts hating me. Well, now, with hindsight being 2020, can we just admit that I have been right about Voldemort 1 when I voiced concerns about her? I was right about Voldemort 2. I was right about RTU. All three of them aren't here anymore. And now the most recent one, I was right about Savage. Now, what I want to say is how different would things be, Keem, anybody in the audience who wants to partake in this mental exercise, how different would things have been if Keem just listened to me in the first place when I said I had a problem with Savage? What if he just listened earlier?
Keem listened to me in the first place and never hired her.
That's even more important. Like, what if people had just listened to Tina? Because she was the first one sending out the alarms, right? But nobody listened. Oh, because Tina's Tina. And then I say something and nobody listens because Becky's Becky. Becky lies. Becky cries. Becky still got a job, bitch, okay? I do know a thing or fucking two. I was right about this one as well. How much more money, how much better would my relationship with Keem had been and everyone had been had I not had to miss fat camp because of arguments that were started over Savage? How much better, how much tens of thousands of dollars more could fat camp have made if Savage and Roxy weren't there? Because Roxy being there and us getting into an altercation is what led to me having to go home. How much money did that cost fat camp? I was one of the main people who had to be there because I was the main draw. So how much money does this cost? And Keem, if you're listening, I would just ask you to ask yourself, do you think you would have made more money or less money overall with fewer headaches if you had just gotten rid of her sooner when people told you? With me saying that, I feel a lot better and I could let go of that. But that's something that bothers me is this is now the fourth fucking time I've been right about shit and nobody listens to me. God damn it, I'm the fucking Harvard-educated psychic and no one listens to me. What the fuck?
You must be a psychic.
I am a psychic. I worked as a professional psychic before coming here.
I know.
Go ahead,
You're good
Tina.
at it.
Keep licking that ass, intern.
Oh, yes. I also did
Agreed.
call it
I'm
about
not gonna
wings.
lie.
Correct, Shell Shock. I forgot about wings as well. Called it there, too.
I was thinking
Make it
about
5. How many more is it going to take? Just saying. You know, ultimately, and I do want to follow that up with saying, ultimately, I defer to Keem. He operates a different way than I do. I'm more cautious. I would rather get rid of people before they cause these problems. He'd rather let them come in, cause problems, and make money off it. But it's just that there's opportunity to cost everything. It's costing you somewhere else down the line. And has it been worth it? Because all these people, most of them who are gone, the Voldemorts, now Savage, basically all the women. Have any of them left you alone since, Keem? No, they haven't. Women are a little different from men. Maybe you want to listen when women are giving you the warnings about other women. That's all I'm saying. Ultimately, I support you, but that's all I'm saying.
Perspective on that.
And yes, independent thinker, I do feel vindicated. I feel fucking
Quantum
vindicated.
Chris
Thank you
super
very much.
chatted $20. Keem once said, "Let me make my own mistakes." Also, TBF letting Savage self-fulfill her being fired was content, so if he originally listened we wouldn't have had the content, and maybe Savage will learn a personal lesson now.
But maybe we'd have had so much better content if so much time and headache wasn't spent on her. Opportunity costs, right?
I don't think you guys understand something. From 2016 until what, 2024, I've been attacked over there. I came over here for a fresh start. I don't want to bring fucking mushrooms and mushroom twat.
I kind of like how Becky is acting like Keem's wife, or like, Keem, if you would have listened to me, this would have been done so long time ago. I like how she, happy that she got 3 people fired, basically. Now, let's really think about this. When it's coming to Lynx, she more or less just quit, and there was already a lot of tension between her and Becky did a lot of horrible things to Lynx, let's be real. Now, when it's coming to Grace, who was the first one to get fired, I think the reason why Grace got fired, obviously Becky made it this whole big deal, and in reality that whole thing was just one big script. If you're not aware, the whole thing of firing was one big script till the very end, right? Because I think everybody can confirm that. But it's like, if Keem would have listened to you, then Queens would have just been what Queens would have been a month after. If anything, I don't think many people would have cared, because Queens was just so boring early on. There was like almost nothing about it until it really picked up around January. But that was mostly because there was a lot of fighting, Becky scamming, Becky lying, Becky doing a lot of wild stuff. So hers, in a way, you can say that Becky was trying to make it safe and easy for her to get more money early on. That's really what it was. And the whole R2 stuff, from what I understand, I know R2 is very hard to work with, but R2 and J really, how can I say, gave the lolcowlive universe a whole new breath. I honestly do firmly believe that. I think what Al are like, honestly, like when Local Test went from Local, not Local Test, when Local Nerds went from Nerds to Madhouse, I completely stopped watching. Like, I may occasionally watch Madhouse here and there, if really at all. And, you know, RTU and J really brought something new to the network. It was different, but they had a dedicated following. And again, and it didn't even last that long. It lasted like a good, like 2 weeks before everything fell apart. But I guess I guess because of Becky, she wants things to be at her direction, and I think at that point, that's the way Becky was talking about. It kind of proves that ultimately that Becky has a much more hand within these networks than we're given. But yeah, with that being said, this war is over. Milker is more or less defeated. I think in a way we all knew that was going to happen. We all knew that ultimately Queens was going to win through brute force alone. Because in the end, Savage made too many enemies. Savage kept fighting with everybody, made too much enemy, and it just resulted in her just losing her position, her host position. And I think because of that, I guess you can feel bad for her, but at the same time, you had the opportunity to make money, real good money, but you didn't. And you screw it up. With that being said, y'all, have a good one, be safe, and God bless.